All right, welcome to Hannity. A lot of news breaking this Friday night while two deranged, angry lunatics fight it out in what is an increasingly nasty battle for the Democratic nomination. There was President Trump, fully focused on the job, serious issues. Earlier today, he toured what is a devastation, sadly, to our friends in Tennessee. Multiple tornadoes ravaging the state on Tuesday night, killing at least 25 people, including 5 children on the ground. The president offered his full support, vowed to provide whatever federal assistance the state will need, and then he flew to Atlanta, where he met with officials at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC for short. The president's trip to the CDC marks what has been the single most aggressive and most thorough response, the quickest response by any modern-day administration to any type of pandemic or virus outbreak, in this case the coronavirus. But predictably, sadly, you can't even agree to work together to prevent people from getting a virus. I don't think the virus cares if it's a liberal or a conservative infected. Anyway, the mob and the media, Democrats, what do? They want to use a deadly virus as a political weapon against the president, seemingly rooting for this to be, quote, Trump's KATRINA. They want you to believe that the spread of corona is the president's fault and he's not doing enough to protect you. They couldn't be further from the truth, because we have the facts, in spite of the New York Times saying it's the Trump virus. No, it's not the Trump virus. If you're feeling bad, you know who to blame, Trump. No, it's not either. Here's the timeline. First identified December 30th. Oh, they had a virus in the Wuhan province area of China, by the way, and then it is identified as was having pneumonia symptoms. Then it was January 7th, when we first actually named it the coronavirus. Remember that? Now, corona, this one is a corona variation of a previous corona. On January 31st, the Trump administration, they, in record time, declared a public health emergency. Americans returning from most areas impacted to quarantine, mandatory, on military basis, something that hadn't been done for decades in this country. February 2nd, the temporary travel ban went into effect for all non-U.S. citizens who recently visited the entire country of China. Unprecedented steps by the president. He made the call, and we now know, and through my interview and others, that most officials thought it was too early for a travel ban or for any quarantine. In the following days, the president formed a task force, filled it with the top, the greatest, the best scientific medical professionals in the world, led by the Vice President of the United States. On February 29th, the temporary travel ban was extended to, quote, any foreign national who has visited Iran within the last 14 days. On the same day, the State Department issued new travel restrictions to Italy, where the outbreak has been fairly large, and in South Korea. Also on the 29th, the FDA cut regulations allowing a more rapid testing response and capacity for coronavirus. On March 2nd, the president met with pharmaceutical executives, where he learned that phase 1 testing of this vaccine is imminent. Record time again. March 3rd, the administration ordered the CDC to lift all restrictions on testing. Today, the president signed an $8 billion emergency spending package into law. He even donated his salary to the Department of Health and Human Services to fight back against the virus. The media mob's weaponization and politicizing of this very serious issue is beyond predictable and disgraceful. Yeah, last week, believe it or not, New York Times said if you're feeling sick, and you know who to blame. This is the Trump virus. Because if the dog bites, the bee stings, and you're feeling sad, it's Donald Trump's fault. Instead of what? Well, maybe coming together, providing you with truth and facts. What have they been doing? Sowing fear, panic, distrust. Now, make no mistake, like with every pandemic, even the one that Biden and Obama did not react as quickly to as they should have in 2009 and 10, that was H1N1, and better known as the swine flu, the coronavirus is serious. You should be informed about real risks and real dangers, as with the flu, as with any virus, as with any pandemic. This is not the first major pandemic, possible pandemic to impact the United States. But we've been impacted far less, thankfully, than other countries. But we want a cure for everybody. 2009, here's their timeline. Under President Obama, H1N1, that virus infected 61 million Americans, leading to, what, 13,000 deaths within almost a year. So put that in perspective. And by the way, took 6 months for Obama to declare the full national emergency. So far, there are around 250 cases of coronavirus in the U.S., 250 too many. According to the Assistant Secretary of Health, the overall estimated mortality rate for corona is less than 1%. Okay, pretty low. Now, the H1N1, that tends to impact the young children. This one tends to impact older people a little bit more, especially those that are more susceptible, that have weakened immune systems, the elderly with other underlying health issues. Watch yourself.
The best estimates now of the overall mortality rate for COVID-19 is somewhere between 0.1% and 1%, okay? That's lower than you heard probably in many reports.
Lower than what fake news, CNN, MSDNC would like you to believe, perhaps. The world is not coming to an end. It's not the president's fault. When the president put the travel ban in effect, fake news, CNN says, oh, we're going to stigmatize other country. Joe Biden said the president's a xenophobe. Well, we have other news. They've been predicting the downfall of our economy. Not happening either. Our economy, well, in spite of Wall Street always being jittery, it continues to show the fundamental strength is at an all-time high. Why? Because in February, we now know as of today, we added a whopping 273,000 new jobs, causing the unemployment rate to fall yet again. Yes, a 50-year low of 3.5%.